What is going on, everybody, and welcome in to episode number 63 of the Pre-Patch Podcast. How are you guys all doing tonight?
Hell yeah, man.
Oh yeah, 6 more episodes, baby. I'm excited.
He's gonna go all out, bro. He's gonna go all out for episode number 69.
Ooh.
He is gonna go all out for episode number 69. But welcome in, everybody. If you guys obviously aren't on the video side of this, because you know we do this live all the time, every episode.
We're live?
Yeah, no, really, it's crazy. What? We are live. Yeah, absolutely.
Wait, what? Like right now?
Yeah, and I think my dog may be taking a shit in my floor. Hey,
that's fine. That doesn't matter.
No, he's just trying to.
Just
he's just trying to get
slap it.
He's just trying. Wait, what? No, we okay. Hey, we on the Pre-Patch Podcast, and the participants here, except for Enigma, do not condone or believe in abuse to animals. What are you talking about? Don't slap a dog.
Wait,
no, absolutely.
No. Did you draw that?
No, isn't it good though? I should have said yes. Isn't it good though?
Dude,
it's so good. It's so good. So if you guys aren't like I said here live with us across all of our channels, our resident 8-armed bearded beauty of an octopus man, Squid Boy, is unfortunately sick. He came down with COVID. So sending out the good vibes. You know, he's tucked away in his little, where do they, I don't know, where do octopus sleep? Like in holes in the ocean, right? Like, don't
under rocks, you know,
caves and stuff,
in coral reefs,
something like that. Yeah,
he's in his little wreath, and he's trying to get better. So wish him
wreath or reef.
Yeah, I heard reef, but it's okay.
Reef.
There's a difference between wreath and reef. Sir.
Reef, like reefer.
You hang wreaths on the door. You
you hang wreaths on the wall and windows. Who hangs them on a door? You hang Christmas wreaths on a door?
Everybody hangs them on the door. Yeah,
absolutely.
Scrooge hangs his on the door even.
Absolutely
look, sir. I think we would know what Christmas is.
Look, man, we had a pre-show, we had a pre-production talk about you raising your voice. I need you to not do that. Okay?
It's gonna happen. Deal with it.
Welcome in, guys, to the top 200 podcast on the Apple platform. Number 100,000th in your heart. I don't know. It's episode 63, guys. It's welcome in. It's the Pre-Patch Podcast. We've done 63 of these fucking things. You should know what we're here for, what we're here about. My name is Sin. We've got Scruffy. We've got Enigma. Like I said, Bill is out. Catch us on anchor.fm /Pre-Patch Podcast or any of your podcast apps, or be here live and engage with us via chat. You know, we can see kind of what's going on and all that kind of good shit. So, if you are new to the show and this is your first episode, well, fuck, go listen to the other 62 episodes, then come back and listen to this one, because who's the fuck starts at 63 as their first episode that you listen to of a podcast? But if you are wondering, we always start every single episode off with Twitch and YouTube news. And this year, Dude, this year's been fucking crazy. But no, this episode and these past 2 weeks, it's been a little quiet, except for Twitch did kind of announce this. I don't know if you guys have seen or not, or care, but if you probably should care if you're going to TwitchCon, just to be aware of what's going on. TwitchCon is not requiring any kind of COVID vaccinations or masks, and this is raising quite a bit of fuss. This article is coming from the Washington Post, just so we can make sure that we credit where credit is due. But yes, it is coming off of the news that people are pretty pissed off that they're not having vaccinations. So I guess my question, because I fall on two sides of the fence on this, and I kind of want to know your guys' thoughts, is, what do you think? Is this something that is a big deal? Do you think that this is, if you guys were going to TwitchCon, I don't think either one of you guys are, but if you are going to TwitchCon, like, do you think that it's important that these organizers require some type of mandate, or not? Like, where do you kind of fall on this?
I'm the same with you, kind of. I'm in between. Like, there's part of me that's like, it is a very big event. There is a lot of people in very close environments, and you see a lot of other events, you know, that do actually require maybe not masks, but at least proof of vaccination. I think up to like 72 hours. That's how it was for Comic-Con, which just recently passed. So you see an event like Comic-Con, which I think is actually a bit more congested, a bit more packed than maybe TwitchCon. I can't speak on experience, but something like that does require that stuff. And I think that's where a lot of similarities draw between this and, you know, Comic-Con, that people are seeing that one have these regulations and whatnot, and then TwitchCon doesn't have any. I think it's surprising they don't have anything, honestly. So I'm not like, I'm not
that surprising.
Well, I don't know. Right now, there's still a lot of, you know, confusion and whatnot with COVID, and it's here to stay. But I think there definitely needs to be maybe something. I don't know what though.
I mean, I think I'm on the exact opposite side from you guys. Like, there's a couple of people, or there's somebody in the chat that's talking about it. Like, remember like 3 to 4 years ago when people went to Comic-Con and all these conventions and still got sick. Like, if you want to be protected by it, wear a mask. That's on you. That shouldn't be on Twitch. That shouldn't be on Comic-Con to enforce anything on anybody that's going to them. If you're that worried about it, wear a fucking mask.
I mean, that's true. Wear a mask or don't even go.
Get a vaccine. Get a vaccine. That way you're protected. If you've got the vaccine and you've got a mask, that's on you. You can't expect other people to fucking cater to your whims.
I guess it's not surprising though that creators are opting out though.
It really is, and then that's on them. Like, honestly, like that's 100% within their choice. Yeah, if they don't want to go to it, and that's they're worried about it, then so be it. You know.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
I don't even think concerts require, you know, masks.
No, they're not. Concerts. My brother's going to a concert. I think he's going to a Metallica concert next week. So next week on Thursday, and like they're just like, yeah, come, let's go.
Yeah,
let's do it. Get back into it.
Yeah, I think. I mean, my feelings on this, right? You know, is I don't think that we obviously have to change. Okay, so I have to pause myself before that first statement, because thinking about the statement as I'm going to say it, I think it would come out wrong. The reality is that I don't think that COVID is a big enough thing to, you know, actively change the entire, you know, world in the way that we function, in a way that's like, you know, if there was some ungodly, deadly, you know, disease that had a 100% mortality rate or something of that nature, right? Or even just, it doesn't have to be 100%, but a very, very, very high mortality rate. You know, if we look at facts, you know, figures, all the kind of stuff across, you know, all sides, right, left, and different, whatever, non-political, non-biased facts that are out there, like COVID, you know, is mortality rate amongst the majority of people is not as high as something like the flu or in things of like that. So, does it suck?
It's one of those things where you got to take into consideration what they talked about when COVID first started happening, right? Who does it affect most, right? It affects the elderly, and it affects people with immune diseases and or respiratory issues, correct?
Right.
So if you are an elderly, or if you have an immune system disease, or you have a respiratory system disease, and you're going to go to TwitchCon or Comic-Con or one of these other cons, then that's on you to protect yourself at that point.
Right.
Like, yeah. I understand the whole sentiment of like we have to look out for everybody else, but like at a certain point we have to get back to where we were.
Well,
right? We can't just live in fear for ever and ever and ever.
Well, and that's what I was saying, is that it's a situation where I don't think that, like, if a disease comes around that has those, right, that has something that has an extremely high mortality rate, then yeah, we do have to alter culture as a whole. Like, how do we, you know, make sure that we are keeping ourselves safe? And something like this, right, I think, you know, I don't necessarily see an issue with saying, hey, TwitchCon, we're not going to require these kind of things, but we are going to have masks available, right? TwitchCon, like, masks have now become a fashion, you know, statement or an advertising statement for something like that.
I don't have an issue with them providing masks. I don't have an issue with them like asking people if you're feeling sick or if you got the sniffles, wear a fucking mask. Like, that's completely 100% within their right to be like, hey, stop spread. Honestly, when it comes down to these cons, like, they should have been doing that from day one.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I mean,
because again, like I said, like, I know you've been to a couple of you've been to a TwitchCon, and the literally each of those times that you've been to TwitchCon or whenever you've been to a con, and I'm pretty sure you were sick right after.
Yeah, you come. I mean, you come back and you are, you know,
the con
because
flu,
you're exposed to hundreds of thousands of people that are just, you know, nasty. I mean, let's face it, right? And you know,
they're sick
so
everywhere.
you know, yeah, it's gross and and all that kind of stuff, and you're shaking hands, and no matter how much sanitizer you do, it's just never gonna change. So you know, I don't.
Yeah.
I think you know the people getting pissed off and creators opting out, like this is where what I wanted to talk about. I think that really, like, you're drawing a line in a way that I don't think that you necessarily should, right? Creators coming in there and saying I'm not going because they're not requiring vaccines. I want to make sure, without getting super political, to make sure that's understood, like, hey, like when you do stuff like this, when you say things like this and you put your flag in the ground, like hold true to what you're saying, because understand that what you are saying is that you want more regulations, more mandates, more things put onto you want people to be able to control what you're doing and saying. So when I in turn turn around to ask you a similar question that maybe happens to do with like the government and what we're doing with, you know, laws in our country, and you go, oh, absolutely not, the government should not be able to say and dictate what I get to do, and as you know, with my body or whatever, like it's one of those, it's like you can't have your cake and eat it too. So in this thing, I think when creators are just like, I'm opting out, I'm not going because they're not gonna keep me safe. Well, it's not TwitchCon's job or Twitch's job to keep you safe. Yeah. It's your job to keep you safe. That's like saying if you went to TwitchCon, got shit-faced drunk, and you lost your wallet, that you're pissed off at Twitch because they didn't do anything to have protection for you against your getting wallet lost.
To keep you safe or protect you, bro. That's not, no. I wonder though, do you think, and I assume yes, but do you think most of these creators who are opting out are doing it more for a hold the ground like publicity kind of act, or do you think it's actually to keep their well-being or anything like that?
I don't think it has anything to do with their well-being. To be 100% honest, like if I'm going to be truthful, I don't think it has anything. I don't want to scroll down anymore because it shows people that are opting out of this, and you can find that on your own. It's not hard to Google it and figure out who is opting out, but I'm not giving them any more just desserts than what they already are doing. Like, you know, this is a gotcha moment. This is, you know, and it could be maybe a lazy thing. It may be like, I guarantee that a lot of the creators that, you know, are getting to a certain point that are opting out are creators that I don't want to say they don't want to go, right? But it gives someone a very easy out to be like, you know what? I don't want to go, right? Like, you know, I don't want to spend time doing this. I'd rather just stay at home, right? You know, or create an event where it's like, oh, you know, we didn't get to go to TwitchCon, but we're going to do, you know, all this. I didn't hear anybody talking about Money Mogul or Mogul Money Live, which they had 5,000 people crammed into a studio doing that. You know what I mean? So it's,
well, it's rules for thee, not for me. It's
right.
In the end, it comes down to what I believe is what I believe, and I believe that you should believe in what I believe. What rules for me, not for thee. And when it kind of turns back on them, they're like, oh shit, and now I need to kind of put my foot, you know, my foot where my mouth is at this point, because I've been ramping this up for so long. Right. Now they have to kind of stick with it in some cases. I just saw one of the names and I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It's the third one down. I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Right. I can kind of get down on the agreeance of, you know, this really is not such a absurd thing that Twitch is doing.
Well, it's been the stance of a lot of people ever since, and I'm not going to get into the politics. If you think that the coronavirus was deadly enough that we should have shut down the entire fucking nation, that's entirely on you. You do whatever you want to do. I'm not going to get into that. But like in the end, to get back to what we were before the coronavirus, if we ever want to get back to a normalcy, any sense of normalcy, right? We have to start looking at this as, instead of this is the deadliest virus ever, it's just a virus or a disease, or whatever you want to call it. It's just the next flu. Yeah. And we've already seen that, yeah, it's rough, and Bill can attest to that right now. He's going through the roughest stage of it. I can attest to it. I went through it twice. Scruffy can attest to it. He went through it once. Sin can attest to it. I think you went through it once or twice, right, Sin?
Yeah. I've been through it twice so far.
It's bad. Like it's not an enjoyable thing, but it really wasn't life or death for me. Most of the people going to this TwitchCon,
and our hearts go out to the people that, you know, obviously
exactly
affected.
Exactly. And I'm not saying that it's something that isn't bad. Again, if you have an immune disease, if you have some kind of respiratory, if you have some kind of an issue that makes you so that you're going to be more affected by this, 100% don't go.
Yeah.
That you shouldn't be going to it anyways,
Right. I mean,
regardless of
yeah.
COVID.
Well, that's the thing. It's just and here's where I will take my stake in the ground. And this isn't even this is more going down a route of like, you know, misinformation and all that kind of shit. Like there's some, and again, I'm not going to point out who it is, but they are literally saying, I'm not willing to die for you. And us immune and compromised streamers are just going to stay home. Right. So I think the last part of that statement, you know, immune compromised, if you're immune compromised, yeah, you absolutely should not go out in public. You could fucking die, but you don't preface that beforehand.
It's going to make it. Yeah. Exactly.
And saying I'm not going to die for you, like, okay, bud, like let's bring this down a notch. Like let's take this down a little bit. Like, you know, this is, you know, and there's people on here that are just being like, I'm absolutely opting out because how dare they? Like, it's, come on, man. Like, it, you know, like I don't know. So whatever. I mean, but this is what's going on.
It's definitely getting blown out of proportion.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't want to go back and forth on it. I don't want to go in a circle.
Yeah,
but again, in order to get back to where we were before COVID, we have to get to a point where we can be like, okay, we're gonna have to deal with this. Like, we have to deal with this. This is here with us now. Let's get over it. Let's figure it out and move past it.
Yeah. I mean, that's it. That's what it in a nutshell. So, well, yeah. So that's Twitch. YouTube, there's really nothing too major, I think, to talk about. I don't think there was anything that kind of came out pretty any, like, as far as
I know of. Yeah.
New news.
I was looking around for it too.
I'm sure it'll come.
Oh yeah, absolutely. YouTube's not going to be outdone on this show. By no means is YouTube going to allow Twitch to just have the reins for that long. So,
no.
Well, moving into to what we've been playing, I'm gonna let Scruffy take the reins on this one first because he's got one game. I've got two. Well, I've got a couple, but I'm not showing more than two. So, Scruffy, go ahead and give us the lowdown on what this beautiful game is that you are playing here.
Beautiful. So I've been playing a game recently. I only played it once so far. And I really want to dive back into it, but it's called Hell Pie. And to sum it up, you are a demon who works an office job in hell, and you are suddenly tasked to pretty much gather the ingredients to make the most horrid, disgusting pie there is for the devil for his birthday. And you were sent on this quest with your trusty companion. If you're watching the stream right now, you can see Nate and his trusty companion Nugget in the full glory. Nugget is your angel / grappling hook / weapon.
Nude fat baby.
Nude fat baby with wings, and he's beautiful.
Where do you find this shit, man? Where do you find this stuff?
I look for this stuff. It's just so fun. It's like
he lives for this stuff,
dude. Like, and I love these kinds of games specifically because they kind of are an homage to like the old PlayStation like platforming action platformers, you know, akin to like Sly Cooper, Ratchet and Clank, just to name a few. There's tons of them, you know. There used to be my favorite kind of games, you know, just jump around, kill a bunch of shit, do little missions and side quests. It's a lot of fun, and it pretty much sums this up. And, you know, this one really takes the cake, or I should say pie, because it just goes above and beyond of what you can do. It really combines a lot of aspects of, you know, platformers to first-person shooters of killing little goblin or gecko things and just Gatling guns, and you're just doing everything. That's crazy. And the game has a nice progression system too, you know, where it has, you know, skills that you can unlock for Nugget, your little friend there. He can start to do more things. He can start to grapple higher, grapple faster, use the actual grappling mechanic as a weapon. It's just like, honestly, it's endless. And I've only just dived into the first level of the game, and it was like literally an open world exploring this place, like in the desert, like, or not a desert, like an island resort place. And it's beautiful too. I don't know. I can go on and on about this game. I just really want to play it more. But It's a fun little game, man, on Steam, and it's as far as I know, I believe it's an indie developer, Sluggerfly. I don't think they've made anything other too big.
You know what, this gives me like very old school you know, like not Ratchet and Clank, Spyro kind of styling. Like,
yeah, I was about to say it reminds me heavily of Spyro.
You could tell there's a lot of inspiration in with Spyro, even just like the boobs and the combat system in it. Very Spyro influence. You could
say the boobs,
the moves, but
I thought you said the boobs. I was like, what?
I'm sure
I don't remember that in Spyro, but you're playing a different Spyro than what
Spyro, yeah.
What was that?
If you're watching the stream right now, this is probably the most sadistic part. So
you sure you weren't playing Leisure Suit Larry? Remember those games? Leisure Suit Larry.
Yes, I do.
That was like Postal almost, right?
That game got banned.
Bad Hair Day or whatever.
Yeah, Leisure Suit Larry got banned, and so did Man Game. There was the Man Game got banned. But no, yeah, it definitely gives me like like Spyro kind of style.
Yeah.
The little cherub dude or whatever, the little baby angel thing. The face reminds me. Did you guys ever watch oh fuck, I can't, was it called it was like the dinosaurs or something like that from back in like the 80s. It was
I know what you're talking about.
I can't remember, but it looks like the baby his face looks like the baby from that one.
Did you just rip the horn out of that thing?
So that's what I'm saying. That was one of the most brutal parts. You're sacrificing this little Unilamb.
Oh my god.
And that's how you get new powers. I know.
Wow. Well,
I know.
That's cool. I don't know. It looks like a little fun.
It was just called the Dinosaurs.
This game
is from 1990s.
Oh, I know. I think I know the scene you're talking about. This game is $25 on Steam. Fairly small developer. Definitely.
Is it worth 25?
Check it out. Is it worth it?
Yeah.
I'll have to see, but just from the few hours I played, I would definitely pay up to probably 30.
Wow, 30
I don't
bucks.
know about that.
At the 30 is a high price, man.
Is it though?
I mean, I'm just saying. Yes, in the pre-patch world, in the pre-patch podcast world, $30 is like we kind of value that as.
I wouldn't pay $30 for Back 4 Blood, man.
Well, that's fair. I don't know. This game, I feel like if it's got enough of like a story to it and enough side stuff to do, which I'll come to find out, but I think it is. I think it will be. But even 25, I think it's a great price. So
okay, interesting. Yeah, it's cool. And what's this game called again?
Hell Pie.
Hell Pie. All right, there you go. Hell Pie
words.
On Steam. Go check it out. So yeah, so I'm gonna move on to what I've been playing. And before I talk about As Dusk Falls, I want to say, oh man, and Bill's not even here to fucking take like any kind of, which I think is actually perfect. I can't get crit. I can't get shit. I can't get shit for it. So I, upon the request of Bill, having played so many games that I've asked him to play, I jumped back into Rainbow Six Siege, and I played a couple matches of Rainbow Six Siege, and I have to say I am enjoying it more, and still have it installed and still have been playing it. I've been playing it solo. I've been playing it with these guys. So yeah, so I have been playing Rainbow Six, but I will preface that my arguments against the game when I was arguing against it were very valid. Like they were still like, there was a lot of things that like people that I talk to that are, you know, a big content creators for this have mentioned. There are, you know, Bill has mentioned it, that it is for sure some changes have happened, and it has definitely evolved over you know, the past couple years, and so it is definitely a very different game than what I originally played, you know, from several perspectives. So I have been enjoying that. So I have been playing that, and also I got sucked back into fucking League. In fact, I got sucked into League, and I sucked Enigma back into League, and then Scruffy, I'm pretty sure, is coming back into League. So
yeah, I'll probably play it again.
Sin's just sucking us all. Man.
Sucking us all off. Yep. So. But more importantly, I did play this game, which I'm actually super excited. I was super excited to play. I loved every moment of this. It took me 2 streams to get through it. Roughly about, I think, well, my chat was a bunch of fucking idiots for the most part for some stuff, but it took me like 12 hours.
They just would have listened to me. We would have made it easily like.
to go through. But this is As Dusk Falls. This is a free game if you have Xbox Game Pass, or I think it is $20, or it may be 30 or 20.
It's 30.
Let me see. As Dusk Falls. Let's see how much it is. But this is a game that it
Yeah, it's $29.99.
It's $29.30. So
that's a steep price. That's
no, it's not worth $30 at all. I will test it. It's not worth $30. Like I don't think it's necessarily worth $20. Personally,
I think it has the replayability for sure. Because if you went through 2 streams, and those streams were probably like what, 6 hours?
6 hours long. Yeah.
Yeah. So you've got 6 hours long, and then you've got replayability like crazy in this thing. Like you've got different branches you can take, everything like that. So
basically, what this is this is a like what's the chat's kind of saying, a Telltale style game. You are basically, it's a graphic novel game that you are playing, and you can play it in a couple different ways. What I love about the game is that it gives you the ability to buy it or play it where somebody in your household can also have their phone and they can connect to it and they can make decisions. I love the art style. It's this comic book style art where it's just like, you know, there's not a whole lot of movement. And I actually was just talking to somebody earlier this week about, you know, whether I like the Quarry, and I said no, I didn't like the Quarry, because one of my arguments is that in moments like this where you have to make a decision, you're paused, they hyper focus in on the face, and there's so much movement in the face and like the facial recognition that it really takes away and breaks the immersion. Whereas in this, because there's still images, you're not, even though like the background is moving like that, you're not like, you don't feel like you're being ripped out of the you know, experience. But you get to chat gets to vote, or you get to vote, or your friends get to vote, however you want to play it. And basically you get these decisions. And as a broadcaster, I had some override options that I could say, you know what, I don't like that decision, I want to take this in a different way. And I would invoke those 3 times a stream, if need be. But it's, I can't give away too much. Basically the story is that you are a family that gets into an accident and ends up having to walk to this hotel or motel that is in Twin Rock, I think is the name of the city or town that you're in. It's Twin Rock or something like that. And a whole bunch of shit transpires, right? And then from there, the story just kind of branches, and it's all based on what you choose. Enigma, you played this game with me. You got to experience. You were in chat. What did you think of it?
I think it was all right. I'm more of a proponent of like the Telltale games. I know you weren't usually too big a fan of the Telltale games, like the more story
like The Walking Dead, yeah,
like whatever you want to call them, like the storyboard almost. But I had fun with it. Like the couple times, obviously I couldn't stick through most of them. I think I played through pretty much the entirety of the last half, but I missed a good chunk of like the middle and the starting, just because I had shit to do. But like, yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed it. It had a lot of unique replayability, I think, with the choices that you can make. And fuck Jim. You know? Guy's an asshole.
Jim's the old guy. Jim's the grandfather in the back seat.
Won't tell you why, but yeah, fuck him. He's an asshole.
Yeah.
But, no, I thought it was good. I thought it was really fun. I enjoyed. I especially enjoyed the fact that it was fully integrated with like Twitch, and that made it kind of more of an interactive story with the entire community. You know, it wasn't just playing one person playing it and then asking their chat to make decisions alongside them. It was one person playing it with his chat, you know?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I got to be a passenger for the most part. Like I very rarely casted my vote. I let chat kind of do their thing. Occasionally I would go in and cast a vote if I, you know, felt very strongly about something, or Two Rock, that was it, not Twin Rock. You know, I would go and I'd cast my vote, you know, if there's like to do a tiebreaker, but I really got to just sit back and experience the game, and experience the story. And it really is a very good story. Like they don't leave too many parts out. Like there are some unanswered questions with certain things, but they do like the developer does a very good job of grounding it, making it feel real, making it feel like you're actually paying attention and following in on like what's going on, and like the set pieces and cut pieces as they go from like one place to another person's perspective to this person's perspective feels like you are like watching a movie. It doesn't feel like, again, in the quarry, there are some aspects where you're like, you cut to this character, then all of a sudden you cut to this character. And it's just like, why? Like, why is this happening? Versus here, like it just feels very novelized, and it's good. It's a very good time. If you've not played it, it's on Game Pass for free. Absolutely go play it. There are multiple playthroughs. You have multiple decisions you can make and choose, and it's really fun. I don't know, man. It was a blast. Play with somebody else. Play with your friends. Like it's really fun.
Is that me? Is that who you said I looked like?
Yes. This kid is you.
Yeah. The main Tyler, I think his name's is it Tyler?
It's Tyler.
Yeah.
It's Tyler.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's funny.
100%. Yeah. You look exactly like
I can
him,
see
pretty
it.
much. Like grow out your hair a little bit. Yeah.
I like this the look of this game though. I might.
I'm telling you, go play it, man.
Just play it or
I
something.
mean, it's one of those things where again we talk about Xbox Game Pass, like what's pay $1 or in Discovery's case,
$10.
Now it's like $10, but
like $10 now.
You know, $10, and you've got a huge fucking selection of games. If you don't like this game, you can go and play multitudes of other games.
I really liked how they combined like the two art styles of 3D rendered and like this like graphic drawn render.
Yeah.
I like that. That's cool.
It's very good. It's very
like
good.
Like a thriller horror?
No, it's like a true.
It's like a suspense, like a suspense drama.
Right.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, there's no horror to it. Like there's no like you know
it's not that
it's very real.
What was that game? What was that game that you were just talking about?
The Quarry.
Quarry.
Yeah, the Quarry. It's not a horror like the Quarry. Yeah.
No, it's very real. Good old Cletus.
Cletus.
Yeah, but
this is one of those moments where if you would have just fucking listened to me and talked to the fucking dog, we would have been fine.
Yeah, no, I think this is where I voted, and I was like, throw the fucking stick or something like that. And Nick was like, just talk to the fucking dog. I'm like, no, fuck you. But and that's the cool thing is there are a lot of like good moments in the game that are very branching, right? Like I don't like, because some of these games you'll go in and you'll only feel like you have like maybe like really like one or two branches that are off of this. But like I was going back and looking at a lot. That's one of the features too that I also want to highlight. If there is a tie, it will bounce back and forth. So like it's a 50-50 shot, right? Like it's like one of those things where it's just like, oh, okay, well, it's 50-50 shot and you got to figure out.
Look at that. The dog gave zero shits about that.
Well, I didn't vote. I should have voted. That's fine. But anyway, yeah. So it's a great game. $10 or $10 if you're gonna get the Game Pass. $30. $30 is a little high. I feel like I think it's a good game, and I think $30 is too high for it. Personally, I think that if they would have released at 20, they probably would have gotten a bigger audience.
20 or 15 for sure.
Now moving on to it.
Really kind of makes it more suspenseful.
Do what?
Like that scene alone, the stop motion makes it a lot more suspenseful.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. No, it was a very again very well done. You felt very connected to all the characters except for Jim. Go fuck Jim. He's a fucking ass.
Except for Jim, yeah. Jim's an asshole. Fuck Jim.
Go fuck yourself.
But anyway, it's
the
really cool.
only person in that entire fucking playthrough that liked Jim was Chicken Boy, and Chicken Boy's fucking weird sometimes.
I also too what I also too say about this without, and I'm not going to reveal. I don't think this reveals too much. They do a very good job of like every character you talk to, you feel connected. Their story is well told, and they're well developed. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to go any farther with it.
Yeah.
But it's very very well developed. So all right, I'm going to move because we're going to start getting into spoilers here. So the other game that I played, and we're talking about games that are worth their weight as far as bang for their buck. This game I am blown away with at how well it is, how good it is, how like functional this fucking thing is for what it should be, and it should be complete dog shit considering the fact that you buy one of these, which is Nintendo's All-Star Brawl, or Nickelodeon's All-Star Brawl, and then you have this, which is Multiverses, and it's free. So Scruffy, you're playing this, right? And you played this with me.
Yeah, I played it the once, but yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. I had a blast.
So this game, if you're not familiar with it, it's a free-to-play game right now on the Xbox, PlayStation, and PC on Steam. And it is WB's brawler. But I don't think it's fair. I don't think it does its justice to call it a brawler, because I think brawler puts it into a very like specific category. Though it's chaotic, there is a lot of like combos and moves and like you know, different character types where you're using like this character I'm using is Tom and Jerry, and he is a hybrid mage based on range. Pika is one of our viewers. He's in here playing was in there playing with me, and he was playing like a bruiser category, which is like up in your face, beat him up. They've got tanks, they've got mages, they've got brawlers. Like it's just a lot, and it's just it's so well done. Like
I'd like to point out a fun little fact that really shows how well done it is the character Tom and Jerry. His moves and his attacks are all based on him trying to attack Jerry.
yeah,
Like literally, it's like he's going to attack Jerry, but you're using those attacks to attack other opponents. It's beautiful. It's super well crafted.
Again, when you hear free to play, when you hear WB, when you hear brawler, when we first heard this, I was like, this is gonna be dog shit. Like
The game is based off of a meme. I'm not even lying.
yeah, it was
Like,
based off of Ultra Instinct Shaggy. Yep.
Yeah, of Super Saiyan Shaggy.
Yep.
And they're like,
Yep.
let's make it a game.
And he's in there. Ultra Instinct Shaggy is in there. And also too, like, there's definitely a tier list in this, which, you know, any fighter game has a tier list, but every character in here feels very well done. Like every character, you know, that's one of the things I will say about a lot of brawlers. What's up?
So I hate to say it, even LeBron James.
Yeah,
It's
I look, disposable income, right? I'm gonna get a button. I'm just gonna hit.
I still think that LeBron James should not have been in here. It should have been.
It should have been Michael Jordan, 100%.
Jackson.
Michael Jackson. No, it doesn't.
I get those two fucking mixed up. Shut up.
How the fuck do you get Michael?
Shut up. Just get back on. Don't make me yell. Don't make me yell.
Wow. Okay.
No, but no, I like his character is like really well crafted for what it is, though.
It is like you play LeBron, and like you were talking about with Tom and Jerry, I played him today, and I was like, the moveset makes sense. You throw a fucking basketball, like you're alley-ooping. You toss a basketball to your buddy. Your buddy, if he touches the basketball, he can then do an attack where he can shoot the basketball in the direction that he is attacking, and it passes it off. If you rebound the shot, you then get a chance to do a slam dunk that gives you a bonus attack. Like it's just like whoever thought about
his pivot foot. Like literally his moves, his like passes and whatever, they all, like, if you notice really closely, he uses his pivot foot to pivot back and forth.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy. It's so well crafted and so well done. I don't know who they got to make this or who they hired, but dude, they're on a fucking roll. And they leaked the character lists.
It's stacked.
It's dude, Rick and Morty's. We're getting the Hound from fucking.
They're gonna have a Joker, because
actually,
like if they have Joker, I might actually play.
The Joker is in it. Yes, Joker is there.
Dude, I can't wait for Popeye. Oh,
I wanted. Damn it! I wanted to see if I could pull it up the list, but I'd have to pause this and try to find it. But the leaked list is crazy. I mean, it's got like. I guess Joker's in it. They have a lot of Batman villains. They've got superhero villains. They've got who was the other one that I saw that I was kind of like,
I think Courage was on there. I'd love to see Courage.
Yeah, I mean, because with WB you open yourself up all to completely Cartoon Network.
I've got the leaked list right now. So you've got the Joker, Marvin the Martian, Nubia, Raven, Gandalf, Legolas, Harry Potter, Ron Weasley, Fred Flintstone, Johnny Bravo.
Yes,
Johnny Bravo. That is surprising. That is extremely surprising.
So
Mad Max, Ben 10, Godzilla, King Kong, Neo from the Matrix. Wow, okay. Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Gizmo, Emmett, Static Shock, Poison Ivy, Black Adam, Craig the Creek, which I don't know who the fuck that is. Wicked Witch from The Wizard of Oz, and Daenerys Targaryen from Game of Thrones.
There was somebody else that was on there that I thought you said Rick and Morty, right? Because they're in there too.
Those were up at the top. So
Okay.
Morty from Rick and Morty, Rick Sanchez from Rick and Morty, yeah, those were up at the top.
Okay.
Apparently those are already confirmed. They're not leaked.
It's pretty insane. And so I do want to speak to one thing I said on the show. I said on my stream yesterday while I was playing this, and we were talking about the Founders Pack. So in the Founders Pack, I gave it shit because there's a $20, I think $30 or $30, $40 and $100, something like that, or 40, 60, 80, or 40, 60 and 100. It's one of those. There's a range there. And I gave it shit for the $100 pack. And then when I went and looked at it and did some more investigating and actually broke it down, you actually end up getting almost $250 worth of stuff out of the $100 pack. So I said on the show or on my stream yesterday that it was not worth $100. I stand corrected. The value that you get out of it is actually there. You get three battle passes unlocked on premium. Right out of the gate, you get 30 character slots selections, which you don't have to pay for to get the characters. Like you can use coins; they just take a while to get in the game to get those. You get 230 of their gems, which are 2,300, 2,300, I think. 2,300 of their gems. You get backgrounds, so you get a bunch of stuff. But the battle passes and the characters alone are worth the characters alone it's $100. That's $10 per character. So just keep that in mind. Like it's $10 per character if you pay for them each individually, and you get 30 character slots. So or tickets. So
bro, from my chat, if they don't have Pinky in the Brain, like I'm gonna be very disappointed. Like very disappointed, bro.
I could see them do it. I mean, the way that they do Tom and Jerry, they could do it very well.
That's what I was about to say. Like all they had to do is Tom and Jerry.
Dude,
basically.
Stimpy,
yeah, Ren and Stimpy.
No, they can't do that. That's
own Ren and Stimpy.
No. That's Nickelodeon.
So. Yeah. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, that's Nickelodeon. So that's the only thing that sucks is because I kind of wish that like WB or whoever would be like Nickelodeon would be like, look, our game is dog shit compared to this. Can we just like can we give you the characters for us and y'all put it in your game?
Fucking like SpongeBob. SpongeBob and
it was so much better.
This is again for it. Here's a quick hit news. It is the most successful fighter of all time. Like this game right now is the most successful fighter of all time. It's free.
Smash is huge.
Do what?
I'm saying that's crazy because Smash is literally huge. Like their fan base is like nuts. But this it brought everyone.
Nintendo, you know?
Yeah, I know. But and that's what I'm saying. This brought everyone together. Like
and not only is it stuck on Nintendo. So I'll give you a bit of a backstory as well, or a little bit of a story. The other day I was over there talking to my brother, and him and my nephew were there as well. I told him to download this, and like legitimately, this has cartoons from our generation, like me and my brother's generation, as well as cartoons from my nephew's generation, right? So it's like one of those things where it's like it's bridging the gap between the old generation of cartoons, the new generation of cartoons. Granted, new generation cartoons kind of shit. Not gonna lie, whatever, it's fine. But the old generations of cartoons definitely make up for it. Like Tom and Jerry, when I saw Tom and Jerry playing, I was like, okay.
Yeah,
I like Shaggy, I was like, that's a little bit of a meme, but okay.
That's where it started.
Well, the other thing too that I like, which I'm showcasing on here, and I will answer the question that is asked, is like, is it the most successful at launch? But so on here, what I think makes this game good and have evolution and have longevity and have playability is because of what you're seeing here, which is the perk system. If this was just a character, if it was just like, yo, these are the characters, it could absolutely survive on that, and it would be fun and it would be played for a while, right? But the ability that you have these perks that you can add in, and they change up the way that your character functions. They'll add damage. They'll add, you could get things where you're like, your cooldown reduction is down by 10%. If you and your partner both lock in that same perk, it's down by 25%, right?
Yeah.
I think we get fucking rocked by this team, if I'm not mistaken. But it just is. I like to answer the
combos too. Like team.
Yes,
there's a lot
dude.
In this game, man, you'd be surprised for a game of this style. They really did like the teamwork and the cooperation, like it's crazy with like the supports and the combos you can do with them.
Oh,
It's
absolutely.
not.
And the answer to the question is the most successful at launch. So the game has got it launched with over I think it was 150,000 concurrents on launch, and the game right now is sitting still at 115, I think, thousand concurrents players. It is the most successful game at launch within their player base. Again, that has to do with it being free. Like, obviously, it being free is a very big thing.
Yeah.
But I think this game's gonna have a lot of
and
longevity.
And it's crossplay, is it not?
Yes.
Yes.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. I think honestly, if you guys are at all fans of Brawlhalla, I think it's very akin to that game. I think it's got a lot of similarities that I've seen, and I think, yeah, it's just a good brawler.
Well, I mean, I think so. Again, another thing is being brought up is Project L. So the Riot is coming out with their fighter, two completely separate, different styles, right? Like, I think the thing that's here is, and I love all fighting games. There is a feeling of this game specifically that just it feels so good, comparable to like a game like a 2D fighter, like what Project L is going to be, or even Street Fighter, right? Like, I know for a fact that Scruffy, he doesn't play. Well, I don't know, Scruffy, do you like Street Fighter games?
No, I'm not a big fighter guy. I'm more of this style, like the brawler type.
So I don't think that someone that is missing Street Fighter, I don't think they're gonna come into this and be like, this is it, I found my game, I'm fucking done, I'm never going back to Street Fighter or whatever else, right? So that community and look, the fighting game community is not starved. They just had Dungeon Fighters come out, the fighting game. They've had Guilty Gear Strive come out. Dragon Ball Z just came out. They've got, Dragon Ball Z Fighters came out last year. Like, they are a very well fed genre of games that are actually done very, very well. So Project L, I think, is going to be a phenomenal game in the 2D fighter realm. But this game, I think this game puts a very big hurt on Smash. And Evo has already said that they are going to have this game at Evo, and it will be competitive. So I don't know.
I'm really hoping that we see a lot of like innovation inside of their characters, like bringing more and more of the characters, because WB has a huge
I suspect we will, just from the lineup that we have so far and like their uniqueness and you know, character traits and everything. I think there's going to be a lot to, you know, build off of that
for sure. So cool. Well, that wraps up kind of what we've been playing. But again, Multiverses, go check it out. It's free on Steam. It's free on PlayStation and on Xbox. So and it's cross-platform. So yeah, let's talk about the news, boys and girls. So Tencent, you heard of this company? You guys know about this company? Have you ever heard of them?
No,
I heard of them.
Yeah, they got 10 cents.
No, they got way more than 10 cents. They got way more than 10 cents. Yeah, just a little bit, not much, just a little bit, but okay. 10 cents. They are joining another company that's not really well known out there. You guys know Logitech? Logitech. Yeah, they're like a small startup company. You know, they're just getting their feet
Well, they make
wet
condoms
for them. Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe. I don't even. I'm trying to think, because I work for a competitive company against them. I'm like, I need to make sure that I don't comment wrong. So Logitech and Tencent are joining forces to basically build a streaming focused handheld device. So did you guys read over this or take a look at what this kind of is?
Skimmed. Yeah. It's a streaming like handheld device, right? Like a.
Well, yes, that's the title. So yes, that is exactly what it is.
It's gonna be like Netflix for gaming. Yeah.
No, I thought it was. Yeah, like it was gonna be like what does Nvidia have? They have
the Shield,
something like
Nvidia Shield, and the GeForce Now.
That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
So what the rumors are that this is going to be more along the lines of kind of like a Roku essentially, but centralized around streaming services for gaming. So Xbox Live, PSN, Stadia, GeForce Now, and basically it's going to allow you to access all this. The other side of it is people are saying, well, is this going to actually be a handheld? I don't think it's actually going to be a physical thing like the Steam Deck. I think that they're going in the route of saying, hey, the Roku does this for fucking Netflix and Google Plus and Hulu and Apple TV. Let's just fucking make one for gaming where we have Xbox Live and PSN and Stadia all on one little platform and one little device from a streaming platform. That's where I think it's going to go. And if it,
I wouldn't doubt it.
Fire stick almost.
Yeah.
Well, one thing to remember is that we're getting towards the capabilities of most people, quote unquote, most people have good enough internet that they could technically stream a game at 720 off of like a Roku or a Fire Stick or something like that. One thing you got to remember is like or Microsoft has been talking about that. Like they've been trying to push towards like Sony smart TVs with I think we talked about this like 3 or 4 podcasts ago, maybe 5 podcasts ago, where they were saying that they could plausibly play most of their games on Xbox Game Pass on a Sony smart TV.
So they are. Samsung is introducing that. Samsung's introducing the app, and Xbox is introducing the app by the end of this year. It'll be just an app that you download on your Samsung television and just stream to it. What I want to bring up about this is that do you guys remember when Xbox One originally launched or was originally launching? Like this was this was almost 13 years ago, I think, when Xbox, right?
Like that.
So
roughly.
Xbox One, the original Xbox One.
That's crazy how long it's been.
Not Xbox, but like Xbox One, right?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Remember? So when they came out, I remember it so well because I was like, dude, this is the fucking future, and everybody gave me shit. They come out on stage and they go, we're going digital first. Like we're moving to an idea that we are going to offer a console at a digital first platform, and you're going to get your games via digital. That's how you're going to acquire them. Everybody lost their shit. Everybody fucking lost their mind. They were like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. And I get it. 10 years ago. It's a long time. Like that's fucking crazy in technology world. I get it. Right. It might as well have been back in the Stone Age. But I look now and I'm like, bro, they were just ahead of their fucking time. Like they obviously knew what the future was and saw it and was like, no, dumbasses, digital first is where we're going to fucking go. And now we have Logitech and Tencent being like, yeah, we're going to make a fucking Roku for gaming devices because everything is going digital. Who the fuck wants discs anymore?
I feel like that's such a common thing in the gaming environment. Like literally you have the Sony, the PS Vita, right? Right. You had that, and now you have, all these other, like the Switch, the Steam Deck, which I think is literally comparable to that. Everything's always ahead of their time, and they get so much shit for it back then. And now you look at these things like they're all praised. Like,
well, yeah. Well, and we have people in chat that are saying that they prefer hard copies. But here's the thing: you're in a minority. I would almost stake my both my PCs on the fact that more people would prefer to download their games, or more copies of games are done versus downloaded versus hard copy.
Nowadays, yeah, especially with like Steam and everything, like it's just the ease of access that I honestly think it comes down to.
There's something to be said though about hard copies. Again, you look at stuff like what's we reported on with
PlayStation 3 shutting down their store.
Ubisoft.
With Ubisoft, just like 2 podcasts ago, people are losing entire sections of video game that they've paid for because it's all digital, and Ubisoft basically went, well, you signed our TO or our terms of service, which said that, hey, basically you're renting out this fucking shit from us and we don't have to do anything for you. I see where they're I see where they're coming from when they're like, I like physical copies, because I think that's a definite issue.
So
like that is a definite issue.
That was the same thing with PlayStation 3 shutting down their stores.
It was. And we complained about it then too. Like it's a terrible thing to have entire fucking libraries just completely decimated.
Yeah.
Well, so here's the thing about it though, that the flip side, right? And I'm gonna play devil's advocate as I do on this show, is that you can. Most of these games, a lot of these games require now that you connect to an online entity to be able to
always online.
Right. Even if it's a single player game or a whatever else, they still are these games where you still have to connect to an online server to check the validity of the game, and then and they still don't work.
The fucking game that you paid for.
Right. So yes, that is complete shit and it's complete garbage, but the world that we live in no longer is that. And if let's say we take live service games out of the question, because it's not just live service. Like I need to make sure everyone understands that's not just live service games. That is a validation service that is implemented by a majority of gaming companies. In fact, and to a point that CD Projekt Red is one of the few companies that actually goes, no, we don't check that shit. Like, we don't give a fuck. Like, they openly talk about how they don't care. They're DRM free. But the thing about it is, if you really do want to take it a step further, even having a hard copy game doesn't necessarily preserve it. If I go right now and say I want to go play Crash Bandicoot, right? Unless I physically saved it and I physically have the console, and then on top of that, I have to go and physically save a TV that can actually do it, or there's an emulation box that I could hook up to be able to make that work on current TVs, I still can't play it. So the reality of it is that nothing is in this industry is finite, because as technology advances, that shit goes away. So unless you're going to stack up a TV, a console, and a game, it ain't going to work.
Yeah, but I mean, that still doesn't get past the fact that if you still have that copy, you still have the ability to do that. You still have the ability to go and find that console. You still have the ability to go and find a TV that can run that. With Ubisoft, people don't have the ability to play those games anymore.
No, you're right. I'm not saying that I'm not saying you're wrong. Like, yes, Ubisoft completely destroyed an entire section of games that nobody can get access
even PlayStation. Even Sony, PlayStation just completely wiping that, right?
Right.
Like, it's gone.
So
there's just that risk that, you know, we take now. Like, it could be any company that does that.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, it's a risk that was I understand where you're coming from as well. I do agree that, like, going digital made it a lot easier for gamers to be like, okay, I have a huge library. It's always there. I can, if I want to go and download fucking Thief, which I haven't played in probably 13 years, I can still go and download it off of Steam, right? Like, obviously that's a good thing to have, because no matter what, as long as you have a PC that can run it, or you have a PC that can emulate it, right, you're good to go. So I understand that, but like, it is definitely something to say that, like, us going, like, the gaming industry and generally the tech industry going digital was kind of a step backwards in my.
Well, the issue was that the move forward into a digital front, there wasn't proper legislation put into place to protect it, like there is for books and for other forms of art.
Exactly.
And there's actually if you really want to know, there's actually the Video Game Protection Act of, I think, 2019 is, I believe that is the title of it. I may be mistaken on the date, but it is the Video Game Protection Act of, or it's a Digital Arts Protection Act, I think it doesn't, but video games are in it. That is actually up above to Congress and our legislation now, that is trying to figure out a way to say, hey, you have these laws in place for books and for other forms of media, but for this you don't. And this is an art form, and this is a thing, and it should exist, and we should have some type of emulation that has to be allowed. If not emulation, then it should not be allowed for companies to be able to just rip the access of that. Yeah. Because as it stands right now, we rent access to these things. Yeah. We are paying $60, $50, whatever in
Ubisoft's TOS, in their terms of service. It legitimately, it's all mumbled in political jargon, or whatever you want to call it, right? Like business jargon. But essentially what it comes down to is, you are renting these games from us. We are essentially giving you access to these games, and we can refute that access at any point that we so choose. Yep, that's in their TOS.
Yeah, I'm sure there's other companies that do that too.
Oh, I have no doubt. I think that Apple does it for iTunes as well. They're like, hey, you don't want any of this music.
Yeah. So it's you know, I encourage you guys to research the bill. I encourage you guys to actually look at that piece of legislation, and take a look at it. And again, you can sign your support to it, or talk to your whoever else and your government officials or whatever. But that is,
where did we get off on a tangent with that? Anyways, we were talking about.
Well, because them going to digital with this, and like the idea, I brought up the fact that they went digital first. So, but this still is the case. Like, like the reality of it is that this is still a thing.
Where it's all moving. You know,
like what's crazy is that we've also talked about, you know, Sony, Xbox, the platform war that's kind of going. Well, okay, I'm gonna throw this out there. The console war that Sony is definitely championing, and Xbox being like, we don't give a fuck about our platform. I could fucking care less about this thing. I only care about Game Pass. But this world is the world that we've all kind of said, like, it's eventually just going to come down to who's got the better streaming service, because that's where we're going to watch it from. Like, you know,
the worst part about it is like the streaming service is starting to become like the launchers were a couple of years ago, where everybody was just like, hey, I got a launcher. No, I got a launcher. No, I've got a launcher. Now we've got, hey, I've got a streaming service. Oh,
Yeah.
you do? I do too. Hey,
Yeah.
hey. Then you got Sony over in the corner going, I do too.
Yeah.
It's so much going on right now. It's also the acquisition war too. You know,
Yeah.
we
Oh,
have
absolutely.
these colliding sides. Like,
Well, that was one thing that I found interesting in this article as well, is like they kind of broke down Tencent's like acquisitions over the past few years, and like they own a lot of shit. I'm like I didn't know they owned that much shit.
yeah,
They
dude.
own like a decent chunk of Clash of Clans, like 9% of Elite Dangerous. Epic Game Store, I think they're
Yep.
like a majority stake
Hey,
owner
well,
in Epic Games.
it's a really great segue into the fact that Tencent is aiming to become the largest shareholder in Ubisoft. So
Yep,
they're about to add another one to their fucking portfolio.
Oh, and the other one that fucking surprised me is they're planning to buy Crackdown's developer Suma Digital. for
Doesn't
1.3 billion
Microsoft
years
own
for
them?
it.
I
I
thought-
thought that they did.
I thought Microsoft
Crackdown
owned
was
that.
Microsoft, but they must be getting rid of it. I don't know.
Maybe they own the IP. They don't own the developer.
I
So,
don't know.
Um,
Interesting.
well, yeah, but Tencent is basically going after an aggressive expansion in the international market. It's acquired several shares in several game developers and publishers in the U.S. and Europe, including a 5% stake currently in Assassin's Creed and Skull and Bones Ubisoft. But however, it seems to no longer be satisfied with the small slice of that, the French side of that, and they are looking at investing long term to actually take over a larger portion. It's reported that they are offering 100 euros per share, and wanting to own 50, negotiations with Ubisoft owning, who own 15% of the company. They are looking at taking over 80% of the share, of the company.
Shit.
That is a very big fucking buy.
That's just owning the entire company essentially. Like,
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why they're saying the largest share,
yeah.
but
I think
that's
that
owning
anything
it.
over like I think that anything over 70% is like you own the company essentially.
Yep.
Dude,
Yep.
What-
So
That's great.
yeah, they're basically, so I guess what's happening is they're looking at buying out the Guillemot families who owns 15%, but then they're also in talks with private stockholders combining up to a total of 80% of Ubisoft shares. It is what Enigma was talking about, this little picture that shows Tencent owns a shit ton of stuff, like a metric fuck ton of video game companies. So we're all just pumping information to the Chinese, man. That's just where it's all going. Like, we are just
And one
dumping
thing that I
info.
actually found interesting about that though is like China they've fallen out of grace with China apparently. If you read if you read a little bit lower, it says Tencent's overseas expansion may be partially motivated by domestic pressures. Tencent's revenue from China has fallen 1% in the last quarter while seeing a 4% increase internationally in revenue. The company is still struggling with Chinese regulations for putting freezes on new game licenses last year. Even with the monetary or the moratorium ending in April, the Chinese government is still yet to grant Tencent a new license. So it's like they're falling out of grace with China, but they're like, yeah, we're just gonna move to America. It's whatever. Fuck it.
Well,
overall,
dude,
for
I think
sure.
We'll just go and buy. We'll just go and buy
Yeah.
Montreal. You know, all of fucking Ubisoft Montreal, and we'll become Canadians, eh?
is Tencent the new Skynet? Is that like what's about to happen? Basically,
Yeah,
they're the new
Yeah,
Skynet.
well, no, they still got to team up with Google's, advanced AI that we never really talked about, but
Yeah, right.
Well, we don't want to talk about that. We'll get
What?
canceled.
still on? Are we still on?
Yeah, we're still here.
Google.
So moving on to things that are reportedly rumored, that we can't confirm or deny, just like the AI stuff. Well, I guess the AI stuff can be confirmed, right? Like that actually existed. We didn't talk
No, I
about
mean,
it.
they confirmed it. They just fired him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, well,
Confirms it
hopefully,
more.
let's just say
Yeah,
hopefully.
which
I'm
actually confirms it more. Yeah.
I'm trying to make a great segue into our next topic. So hopefully we don't get fired from Twitch for reporting this by Rockstar. But apparently GTA 6 got some more information leaked. GTA 6 will reportedly feature their first female playable character, add new cities over time. It's supposed to be based in Vice City. So Miami.
I don't think they've ever said specifically Vice City. They just said a Miami-based.
But
map,
hey,
which essentially means Vice City.
yeah,
Right.
and if it doesn't, they said that they'd add more cities through time. I'm sure it'd
Which-
be added.
which I'm excited about because Enigma has given me a lot of shit. I never played Vice City. Like as much as I love the retro wave, synth wave, like 80,
you really need to go back and play Vice City. Like
I do too.
Yeah, but the fucking remake is trash, is what I've heard. So
I don't play the remake. Yeah.
Well, how am I supposed to play the original?
If you can even get the original,
that's what I'm saying.
If they've made it.
Welcome to the digital world. So, what?
What?
Emulation. Yeah. Yeah, so a bunch of stuff actually came out about this, basically saying that there was a pretty big leak that it's gonna be they're gonna cover multiple cities, so it's not just Vice City. That the new female character is gonna be Latina. That they will that you're gonna
like let's just pause that as well really quickly, because like I was telling you before when I brought this whole thing up, like them having this is their first main female playable character.
Yeah, it's never been, they've never done
Grand
it.
Theft Auto.
Unless it's GTA. Well, GTA Online separate. The campaign has never been played.
GTA Online is separate. That's not their main character though. Like
Right.
this is their first main character for the storyline. That's a female, which is crazy. I mean, that's great. That's amazing. Like I'm glad to see that they're trying to innovate a little bit, but yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't see why. To me, I never understood why. Like, why was it always just a male dude? But I mean, whatever. I mean, it is what it is. But like, I'm happy for him. But it's supposed to be very mimicking of Bonnie and Clyde, and this kind of style. It basically, they're suggesting that it's going to be an fictionalized Miami. Again, they never said that it's going to be Vice City. They also said that you are going to be able to go from Vice City to other. What it was, the messaging was like other cities, iconic cities in the GTA universe. Iconic so thoughts are that they're going to be able to go to like
Los Santos.
Yes. What was
the New York area was? I can't remember what the New York.
What the fuck was that New York one? Liberty City. Liberty City.
Yep.
That.
Honestly, we could even go back to like GTA 1 and GTA London. Which GTA 1 was in like GTA 1 was in like the middle of the Bronx, and obviously London was in the UK. So
yeah, so it's, I mean, it's got, I would love, if that's true, I love that. I think that this is like, because GTA, you got to keep updating, right? You can't just keep doing the same thing over and over again. The crazy thing that I think about this from this leak is they're saying that this is going to launch in April of 2023.
Yeah, I don't think that's.
I don't believe it.
Like,
I still think it's going to launch for another 10 years. No, it ain't happening.
I mean, that's really like 2023.
Honestly, it might happen. Like it took them a long time to release GTA 5 from GTA 4, and we're running up on that. We're running up on that time frame they spent from GTA 4 to GTA 5.
Yeah, I don't know. That's nuts, man. That's fucking crazy. Okay, all right. Let me specify: GTA April 2023 to March 2024. Okay. Yeah. Well, then that's a little bit different. All right. Well, that fits. Maybe they can do that. So
they're playing it safe,
right?
Still need to
just never give a solid number.
No.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, look, man, the GTA Online universe, like that is a money making industry for them. It pumps a shit ton of money into Rockstar, and on top of that, the role playing scene has just blown up.
They need to make that. Honestly, if they're going into GTA 6, I feel like they've realized the role playing scene now. They need to milk that shit.
Oh yeah, no, they're gonna milk it. There's a reason why they're making. I guarantee you that the online GTA 6 online is going to heavily rely on that for sure.
And it should. It's a perfect, honestly, format for it.
Oh, absolutely. It should. So talking about developers that are making new things, Dead by Daylight developer Behavior Studios. Holy fuck, man. They come out and give news and launch a bunch of stuff. So first off, if you ever wanted to date your killer, you can go do it now on Hooked on Me. It's officially released, $10. It is a dating sim, and I watched about 15 minutes of this game being played, and I literally sat there going,
and you were sold, right?
What in the fuck is wrong with people? Like, I don't know. The dialogue in this game, the writing in this game, I'm just like, y'all need to go get laid, man. Like, y'all seriously need to go get laid. Like, it's crazy, but
That's weird, man.
It's
I'm actually legitimately kind of concerned for the people that play those games. Like we were watching a couple of them last night on Twitch, and I was just like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I just I don't want to shame, like I'm not shaming anybody. Like you do you, boo boo. Like do what you want.
Man.
But it's real weird. Like not just the fact that you're dating these like killers. Because it's not even like Michael Myers, like it's nothing licensed. None of them are licensed characters because they can't do that without, they have to pay huge licensing fees. So it's the killers that they've created, which is, you know, Trapper, Huntress, Spirit, or whatever else.
Protest.
You know, yeah, it's real weird, man.
Bill says that he watched a minute worth of segment about somebody rubbing lotion on Spirit's feet.
Yeah. Like there's
that to look forward to.
Wait, Bo. Just where can I find that for research?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Onlykillers.com. Yeah, oh man, there's just I can't. I want to say something about a scene that I saw, but I can't because obviously I don't want to give anything away. But the dialogue was so fucking weird to me and like cringy and just out of place and so fucking like it made me like there are very few things that make me cringe. There's very few things I will turn away from just to be like, okay, cool. But I had to just be like, I can't do this because it just is that cringing. And it was rough, man. And yeah. And the person playing it loved it. And I was like, you are the, you need help. You need help. Let me just say, you need help. There's people you can go talk to, man. Go talk to somebody, please. So, but anyway, that was a game they launched. It is out on Steam. You can go play that. I will not be playing it. I don't know. Bill, maybe Bill will be playing it and you can watch it on his stream. But good luck with the YouTubes on that one, buddy. But they did announce another game called Meet Your Maker. Yeah. So
I saw this just before you had posted it. It looks kind of interesting.
That alliteration I see. Except I feel like MYM doesn't quite sound as good as DBD.
No.
Yeah.
It's like But so Meet Your Maker, this is the trailer for it. This game is I don't know, it's really different. So this is a very different style. So the concept here is that you basically, one person is a creator of a dungeon, and they basically put up a kill room, a kill house, and the other people try to infiltrate and steal the shit out of the kill house, and that's it. That's the game. It's raid, get in, try to get out, and be done. It's I don't know. Like it has kind of a cool concept.
This interests me because I like the building aspects of it and like the tower defense almost. Yeah. But also like the like first person shooter stuff looks like Quake, man.
I was gonna say
Quake or Doom, you know?
Right. I wonder.
Like, it looks good.
The only thing I worry about is in stuff like this, because there's been games that have done this before where and there's a free-to-play game on PlayStation Network. I cannot remember it, but it was like it was very much like this, where it was like a build, a character, a person, like they don't build the kill room, but they build characters that go into the kill room and then they have to survive it. And it became very like memey and trollish because you couldn't there's like there was just a very clear way to say like you're not going to survive. No matter what you do, you're not going to survive.
Way to balance this. Do it right. That'll be honestly game changing for this style of game. But yeah, no, like I'm sure there's a lot of metas that go into these games.
Yeah,
I mean, it's gonna be game changing for this style of game to begin with because there's really not that many of this style of game out there. You know, it's
right.
It's very niche. It's a very niche player base. Yeah.
Yeah, developer now. I mean, I don't know if they're considered AAA now, but they're they're pretty high tier.
I think Behavior Studio is probably
AAA. AAA now. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so again, I mean, what I am happy is that they're at least they're branching out, right? Like they're doing something different with their games. You know, they're not just saying, "Hey, we're going to stick with DBD forever." You know, so it's cool. I'm interested to see what this game price is at and what does the monetization model look like. Like, how do they keep players engaged and wanting to keep playing it and wanting to keep doing it?
I'm sure monetization is probably going to be like cosmetic blocks, cosmetics.
Yeah. Yeah,
but
I
but
what
monsters, things
honestly
like
would
that.
be really cool and would keep this game alive is if they had like daily or weekly like runs that were
Yeah.
like custom made, like not custom made, like they made them themselves, and it would be like a
Development
community
ones, yeah.
leaderboard, you know, that people would fight against to get like the top leaderboard.
but do,
It
do you
might
think
help.
that that's enough to keep someone coming back to playing it? Like, is it enough
Uh,
to say like I want to beat the highest time?
Not alone. No, I think there still needs to
I
be more.
think I think it'd keep the niche market in there, yeah, 100%. But like new players now,
Yeah, like the hardcore dedicated like speedrunners and whatnot.
Yeah.
I think they would love that. But I mean,
Be-
for everyone else, you know, maybe it would strive on
I
the
really
community and the co-op like raids.
I really don't see this being like a massively popular game. Like I think it'll be popular for the first little while, for like the first
For
like
yeah,
two, and then it'll go into
it'll
a
drop
niche
off to the
market.
niche.
Yeah, it's
Easy.
because like the loop of Dead by Daylight is just the fact that you are, you know, again, it's a competitive game, right? So you're you know, there's definitely that I'm going to beat you, I'm going to be better and stuff like that. And I'm also going to progress my characters and level those up. I'm looking at this and going, and if I pull back and I look at like this, you know, the animations of the characters, I'm not seeing any customization stuff. And this could be, I don't know how early on this is. I don't know if we got a release date.
Yeah, I'm not sure. This seems pretty early to me. I don't know, just the way it looks.
This new game seems to be very different. Blah blah blah. One player creates a distinct has a distinct advantage of the other by creating the. But there's nothing on here that tells me like when this game is coming out or when, like what is the like customization aspect of this. So I don't know. I mean, unless you're playing to be able to get traps that you can then set in your world that you can then create,
That's
maybe.
very possible. Yeah.
Possible, yeah. I'm not sure what the
That's gonna kind of alienate the people that don't want to do the traps.
Right, like I could give two fucks about building.
There's got to be something that's like,
because like
character progression.
well, right,
like,
because right,
either physically, like visibly on your character, because like these two characters look similar,
yeah,
but they don't look exactly alike.
yeah,
you know?
there's nothing here that like, I mean, you can see small differences, but nothing
there's
super
Nothing
serious,
huge, but
right?
that
In
just
fact,
like two
I don't
different models for co-op.
yeah,
it's different. It's certainly different from what they're usually
right.
making,
So
I mean,
the other thing that they announced is, which this was kind of being rumored for a while, and they actually announced it, and it got a massive amount of praise, and I think it's gonna be actually pretty interesting. So this is obviously Dead by Daylight, and they are introducing this is Project W. Could you imagine? Do you know what Project W might stand for? Any
Werewolf?
guesses? Nope. What is Raccoon
Wakanda?
City? What is Wakanda? Hey man, I mean, anything to bring Avengers back, sure.
Hey man.
I mean,
Project Resident Evil.
What was it? Project Evil.
Wieners.
No, it is it is Wesker. Albert Wesker is gonna be introduced into
Is that the big guy or whatever? Like the giant?
No, that's Nemesis. So Wesker is
I was gonna say, didn't they already have
Yeah,
shit
since
from
that night, right?
what?
What?
I don't know what you just said. Anyway, no. So yes, they did. They already did a Resident Evil thing, but they're very close with Capcom. Like Capcom loves this. It's easy for them. It's easy money. But yes, they're adding Wesker, which I think is really cool. I think that you know, I love Wesker. He's one of my favorite villains in the Resident Evil franchise.
Right?
What's up?
Was he in Zero, right? Or no? Resident Evil Zero, that one in the house.
I think so. I don't know. Maybe you'd have to ask Bill. Bill is a more Resident Evil kind of thing. I remember him from like old school like very old school Resident Evil. So
I don't know any of these people. So
well, that's Ada Wong. That's another Resident Evil character.
Or are they making like Resident Evil, like the survivors are gonna be able to do like Ada Wong and the
yeah. So they're bringing in Ada Wong. They're bringing in Wesker, and then they're bringing in one other thing. It says it down here. Rebecca Chambers is a the other survivors. So,
Cool.
yeah, I don't know. It's cool, man. Like, hey, I'm all for it. Like, I think keep doing these crossovers, man. That's the one thing that'll keep your game alive and kicking. So, but yeah. So that's Dead by Daylight, and then all the Behavior Studios stuff. So,
But we're not gonna cover the puzzle game.
what puzzle game? They did a puzzle game too. Oh wait, yeah, they did do a puzzle game.
You
Oh, that's
put it
right.
in there.
I'm the one that put it in there. No shit. Hold on one sec. Hold on one sec, chat. I gotta. Well, we're not gonna have video. I wanna. Hold on. Yeah, I can find it. I can get it. So you want to talk about the puzzle game while I look up the?
If you want to, yeah. I guess they're. I have no clue. I don't follow Dead by Daylight publishers, so like.
Right,
I guess they're
So
publishing
a game that's similar, maybe, or at least like inspired by the Talos Principle and the Witness,
Yes,
which I'm
yes.
familiar with those.
I don't know what the fuck Talos Principle or what is it?
It's a puzzle. It's like a puzzle
game.
thing. Here.
Yeah.
All right.
It's cool.
All right, there we
Awesome,
go.
great.
Here's the trailer for it. Sorry guys, I missed out. That's my fault. I didn't see the other link. So yeah, so Dead by Daylight's publisher, they're basically making a co-op puzzle game. This is completely out of the genre of anything that they're doing. Like this is not like a any
Studios, dude.
what's up?
They're pulling a Riot Studios. They're just branching out into every genre.
Yeah, this actually graphically looks beautiful. Like I think it way better than like the meet your maker, make your meter, meet your beat your meat, whatever the game's called.
Beat your meter. Yeah.
Beat your meter. But yeah, Talos Principle is basically just a ginormous puzzle game. You're basically just there to solve puzzles, different lasers. It's a really cool, really chill game. If you enjoy puzzle games, it's awesome. Kind of like an escape room style game. What?
Looks
Yep,
co-op.
Yeah, no, it is co-op.
Okay.
It is co-op. Yeah. Yep. So right now it's called Project S. I don't think it's that's not obviously the official name, but it's slated to come out in 2023. You can sign up to be a playtester if you want for this. But it's apparently, I guess, by the way, Meet Your Maker is going to have a playtest in later this August. So you can playtest that if you want as well. But no, I mean, this game, again, it seems cool. Like I love puzzle games. I love escape rooms. So this kind of shit is right up my alley. I would love to play this. So
you know what this oddly looks like is that one like Sony playtest, like whatever they were doing.
Playroom?
No, not the Playroom. Like the graphic test or whatever for the new
The
gen.
controller test.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. It was in like a desert canyon. That's all I know. Had the gigapixels or whatever.
That was that Forspoken? Are you talking about Forspoken?
Was
They
that,
showed
like,
for Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah, the Unreal Engine 5 test.
Yeah, that's Forspoken.
Yeah, it's got that look to it.
Yeah.
I don't
No,
know.
it
This
looks good.
Weird.
It does look
Okay,
good.
well, I think it looks I think it looks dope.
Weird. I mean, graphically it looks good, but it looks.
Well, it's you got to be a fan of the genre, the puzzle.
You gotta like
games and
puzzle
whatnot.
games.
Yeah.
Moving on, someone that's not a fan of takeovers and someone that's not a fan of Call of Duty being, or the Activision deal going through for Microsoft is good old Sony. And Sony is worried that the Call of Duty being on Xbox or Microsoft owning Activision is going to make their gamers want to buy an Xbox to play Call of Duty.
But it's not going to be exclusive to Xbox, though, right? They did.
Yeah,
And,
they've
like,
already stated that they will not be making any of the Modern Warfare games.
Yeah,
they're the Call of Duty
Yes,
games.
but there's so Sony is still worried that it's still going to sway people to go to Xbox, though.
Yeah,
Is what they're worried. Okay,
essentially, yeah.
I don't know.
Which cracks me up, considering the fact that like the reasoning that they're saying is like, oh well, exclusivity on that platform, and it's like, again, they've already said that they're not good. Granted, they can renege on that, right? And they can be like, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to go exclusive. We don't give a shit. We own it now. This is our franchise. Fuck off, right? Which they could, and that would be entirely within their right to do so, right? But the thing that cracks me up about this whole thing, and I think what me and you, Sin, were talking about was like, fucking Sony's been doing this for years, man.
Yeah.
Like, I think it is so asinine and so backwards of them to be like, hey, whoa, we can't have that. when they've literally been doing exclusives for Modern Warfare for fucking years,
Yeah.
swaying people to go to PlayStation for Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden they're like,
well, it's not just Modern Warfare.
oh,
They did,
guys,
they did,
we can't do that.
They did it with Destiny as well. They did it with Grand
Yeah.
Theft Auto. They've
done
it with
it with a lot of things. Yeah,
a lot of
They have
games.
exclusivity like stuff in Destiny itself, like
Yeah.
whatever it is, you know.
Yeah. So
I think it's so asinine and so backwards that they're like,
I don't think anybody
we
told.
can't have that.
I think Microsoft told the world, but I don't think the world told Sony. Like, hey guys, it's not exclusive, man. Like you can still play it. Like it's still coming out day one for you guys. Like I guess maybe their argument there is like, oh, because I guarantee you this game will be free to play on Game Pass for sure. And it is going to be sold at $70 for PlayStation, which I mean, one, I'm sorry, but if you're paying that much for Call of Duty, there's something wrong. Like it's literally and it's Modern Warfare 2. This is a game that has already come out and been released. Like this is not an.
I love Modern Warfare 2. It was a great game. I think the best COD in my opinion, but it is not worth $70 for a remake.
Fighting words. No, absolutely not. It's not. I think it's maybe 20 at best. Like I would spend $20 to play the remake. But it's going to be free. And honestly, too, Warzone is what's going to push the game, and that's a free game. So like, what, Sony? What are you complaining about?
Yeah, seriously.
They're complaining that they weren't able to buy Activision.
Yeah, that's it.
That's what they're pissed off about. They've been pissed off about it since.
You know what
Microsoft
I would? Oh my god!
Acquired Activision.
You know what I would do if I was Microsoft in this situation? I would 100% go to Sony and be like, well, no, if you want to pay us, you can put exclusive content. You can have exclusivity to certain content.
We'll give you exclusive content, but it's gonna be at a premium.
Yeah, you gotta pay for it. How fucking dirty would that be? Just be like, oh no, yeah, you can have it. You're gonna pay for it, like just like you did before. So
Love to see it.
It's crazy. Well, another thing that also happened is Blizzard, small company, I know, I don't know, not a lot of people guys know about it. There's a game out there called World of Warcraft. You may have heard about it.
Thing from Dairy Queen, right?
Yes, yeah. You flip them upside down. They come in.
These guys are the ones that sold condoms. This was
This is it. This is them.
Wasn't Logitech.
Yeah. Actually, they should sell condoms because they fuck you over and over and over again. Yeah, so Blizzard is now canning, which I think is such a stupid fucking idea because I've been saying that this should be on a fucking mobile phone forever. There was a WoW Spinoff MMO. There's two things that they canned. They canned a World of Warcraft version for mobile. They completely trashed it. They said no, we're not doing it. So that was in development that they decided to get rid of. And then on top of that, they also canned a spinoff that was in development. That was in the Warcraft universe. I don't know if it was. I guess it was in the World of Warcraft universe. But there's two things for World of Warcraft that they canned. One of which was the World of Warcraft mobile version. They destroyed that and said no. And then they're canning this one as well, which is a shocker because they have fucking Diablo Immortal that's making them hand and foot money. Like it's nuts. Oh.
Yeah, I gotta hope that at least with the mobile stuff with Diablo Immortal and shit, I gotta think that I think they're getting more flack than it's worth for continuing to develop for mobile games like that because they've been in a lot of shit ever since they dropped Immortal. It's just been shit after shit after shit on top of everything.
Well, I mean that shit is being delivered to them on a fucking platinum platter as they're making money left and right.
Yeah, but as we've seen, like I don't know if we were going to talk about the $100,000 guy or not, but
yeah, I mean, yeah, we can. Sure,
as we're seeing with that, right? Like we're starting to see these whales that. So if you don't know, earlier this week there was one of the whales that plays Diablo Immortal has spent over $100,000 on the game. Okay, $100,000 is a lot of fucking money to spend on anything, let alone a fucking mobile game from Blizzard, right? Fucking digital currency or digital items for $100,000, right? That's just ridiculous to me. But apparently, this guy spent $100,000 on the game, started trying to do these things that are called immortals. Like, I guess there's an achievement for whales. Like, only whales that's called Immortals, and in order to do that, you have to do some kind of a queue with PvP or something along
Pretty
those
much have
lines.
to spend money.
And the problem with it was he has spent so much money in this game that essentially the PvP could not match him with people. So when he went in to
You're
try
too rich.
and match for PvP to do this Immortals challenge, right? He was in queue for like 6 hours for PvP. From what I've read, right? And he was like, it got to a point where he made a video about it. I think Asmongold reviewed it, and a couple other people reviewed the video. But according to him, he was at his wit's end. He had went through every avenue to try and contact Blizzard
To do what?
help desk.
I gave you too much money.
Desk, through their forums, everything. And the thing that cracked me up was he when he was talking about it, it was almost that air of arrogance that like, I've spent $100,000 on your fucking game. You should be treating me like a fucking god, right?
Honestly, yeah, they should though.
And I kind of agree with that, but then again, I'm looking at it like, you shouldn't have spent $100,000 on a fucking mobile game, you fucking moron.
Who does that in the right mind? But you know what? He did it, and they should treat him like a fucking god.
So essentially, that was the whole thing. Was he was like, you guys should be fucking treating me like a god. This is ridiculous. I've went through 8 different avenues. Nobody from Blizzard has contacted me, right? According to, I think there was an update like yesterday that said that Blizzard finally contacted him, and he's able to now queue for PvP and finish this Immortals fucking achievement that he has, right?
Just
but like,
everybody, it's just
like, come on, man, like, don't spend $100,000 on a fucking video game.
It
right?
honestly hurts my soul.
That's
Like,
just ridiculous.
talk about
That is the epitome of disposable income.
Yeah. I'm trying to, I don't know what this is. Hold on. I'm going to play this because I don't know what this is going to sound like, but I'm hoping that this is going to sound good, because this is the music that I imagine is probably being played in his head right now. Let's see. Nope. Like, it's supposed to be like very like sad, like depressing sound. Like you're just butthurt because I spent all this money and I can't play with nobody. Like
sad boy hours.
Like, what do you?
That's
right?
Anyways, to circle back to what I was talking about, like, again, we're looking at people that are spending $100,000 on these games and can't fucking get into basic PvP matches, right? It's starting to go down that route of, I think people are starting to look at Diablo Immortal and they're like, nah, fuck this, I'm done.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm not gonna.
And then that happening, it's just gonna get worse and worse with like.
It's gonna get worse on the whales because
because the queues.
As Asmongold says it best, I think. Like, the whales are like you got your uber whales, your mega whales, your fucking blue whales, your killer whales, everything like that, right? And then you've got your mackerel, you've got your fucking, your bottom feeders, right?
Whoa.
Once your mackerel and your bottom feeders and your planktons and everything like that, once they disappear, these whales now have nobody to prey upon but themselves. And after a while, the killer whales start leaving, and then it's just the blue whales and the mega whales, right?
God. Fucking economics and survivalists are going to start looking at Diablo Immortal as the fucking principle of how do we judge for life. I don't know. Anyway, either way, man, Blizzard canning. I mean, okay, they did. Yes, they had a shitty fucking mobile launch, but I don't think that should deter them from like putting WoW on a phone. Like, you want to talk about boosting your numbers? I bet that would fucking boost them tenfold. Like, well, maybe not tenfold. I think it would double your numbers easily. Yeah, absolutely. To put classic.
I don't know a lot of WoW players that would be like, you know what, it'd be a great idea. Let's go on a raid onto my fucking mobile device. That'd be a great idea.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot more mobile players than that appears to be, especially now with like these games coming out, like obviously Genshin and all these. Like,
I think you get a lot of new players. Like 100%. I think you get a lot of new players.
I'm not saying they're bringing them back. I said twofold. Like, you bring your player.
I don't think they'd stick around, and I don't think you get those original players that are playing on their actual PCs to switch over to.
I think you're going to see a huge surge once the Activision deal does finalize, and if and I will say if, but I believe that Microsoft will bring a WoW subscription into the fold. They have not done it. Of course, they haven't done it with ESO, so maybe they won't.
They will at all. Yeah.
I don't know. It would be it would be smart, but who knows? But yeah, they can those two games. And actually, if we're speaking about Microsoft, right, hot off the motherfucking presses, this news just launched that Microsoft is rolling out a 5-person family sharing Game Pass plan. They are
family.
What's up?
Here first.
What'd you say? What'd you say, Scruffy?
What?
I will slap the fake blonde right out of your damn head. Bro, don't get all smart and snippy with me. But yeah, no, this is I think this is big news, man. Like a 5-person family sharing Game Pass plan, because like I have, me and my kids, one of them doesn't want to get Game Pass because he doesn't want to pay $10 a month for it. And yes, I do charge my kids if they want to have Game Pass because they're old enough to be able to go mow fucking grass and get money. No, I'm not. No. You earn your time to game.
Terrible father.
I pay for the internet. I'm not charging them for that yet. But no, I mean, to say on here that you can actually go and I can allocate up to 5 people to have Game Pass access, like that's great, man. I mean, if it,
Sin's the kind of dad that when you go when you go to like Dairy Queen and your kid you see that kid, it's like, Daddy, I want a fucking I want a snow cone, or I want a fucking ice cream cone, right? He's like, pay up, bitch.
Okay, so little fun fact, since we have plenty of time, because I was able to finish we were able to finish all the news and everything in time. Fun fact, if we go to the movies, I absolutely am like, hey, I'll buy you popcorn, I'll buy you a drink. If you want candy, you better bring your own money. You better pay for it.
Wow, dude.
Bro, teaching the value of $1.
Parent of the year right here, boys.
Teaching the value of $1, chat.
To go to the movies, you have to teach them right, and you have to take them to Dollar General beforehand and sneak everything in their pockets.
No, that's why that's why they're not going to go to the movies with you, Scruffy. We don't do that. No,
I'll teach them the right way.
Absolutely, do not teach them how to fucking steal.
Stealing? What? You're not stealing from anyone. You're buying it fair and square.
And you're stealing it by going into the movie theater with it tucked into your wherever, and then.
The movie theater.
Not stealing anything. You're
stealing profits you're stealing profits from the movie theater.
No, you're not.
No,
what do you mean you're not? Yes, you are.
I know you're not, because you never intended to buy anything from the movie theater in the first place. So you can't steal what you never intended to give.
It could be argued that you actually did intend to buy something from the movie theater because you bought something at a Dollar General store, which is candy that you could have bought in the movie theater. So which means that if you would have gone to the movie theater without going to the Dollar General, you would have bought the candy in the first place.
Your mindset is flawed.
Anyway, so the point of this is that they are launching a 5-person Game Pass. Do you think that this is actually, and there's no price point yet set, but the thought is that it'll be about $30.
I mean, if I had a family of 5, yeah, that would be, and all of them played. Yeah,
you don't even have a friend group of 5.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're an asshole. I don't like you. We hate you.
You're -1.
But the thing I think is funny about this is that you have things like Netflix, which is going the opposite way. They're like, no, we're restricting it to 1.
Netflix,
and then you have Microsoft's like, oh yeah, invite all your friends. Who fucking cares? Like, invite 5 people, because supposedly go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, just a quick reminder, we do have one more topic that I wanted to bring up.
Oh my god, is this about the Overwatch thing?
Yeah, no, I genuinely, I think it's something to bring up, man.
Okay, all right, well, we'll talk about the Overwatch in just 1 second. But it is this is really cool. I mean, it's really great, and basically the thing is that they're not restricting it to people that are obviously on your internet or anything like that. They're saying that you invite the person into your group, that is your family of 5, and then it's
like family sharing on Steam essentially. But you have to pay for it.
But everybody is. I think the way that it's, from what I'm reading, the way that it works is that they get their access as well. So it's not unlike family sharing right now. 2 people can't be on at the same time.
Yeah.
If they don't purchase the game. This is not that. This is saying that they both can be on the exact same time.
Yeah.
Fucking brilliant, man. I'm telling you, Microsoft, bro. Phil Spencer, Daddy Spencer. He's the Lord and Savior of gaming. So, all right, talk about your Overwatch skin
for you guys. How much? So with like generic skins in games, a top tier skin, like your skins that change your abilities, all that kind of stuff. How much would you pay a top price for one of those really nice skins? What's your top?
I would go off of how I do League, and I think League is like maybe $10, I think, for a top skin.
No, it's like 25.
It's about
no.
Yeah, for
it is, because
Yeah, the ones that
like for the big ones, like my misfortune battle boss misfortune was 20.
Are you talking about full conversion?
But you got to remember that battle boss misfortune also gives you like 4 fucking skins in one. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're really nice skins.
Okay, so we're talking about full conversion skins and not just like then okay. I would say maybe 15, 20 would be where I would be okay with. Like $25 is a lot for a skin.
I agree. Yeah. And what would you say the same, Enigma, or what are you about?
I mean, what are we talking like
the top tier? Like
I would be comfortable with paying, or that I have paid in the past.
What is your ideal? Your top? Not that like sure.
My ideal would be 20. Yeah, 20 to 25 would be my ideal. What I've paid in the past, like
it's
50.
been more. That's what 50.
Yeah.
That was
skins, one of the skins in BDO was like
yeah.
I don't even want to talk about the amount of money that I've spent
but granted that skin in BDO had not just a skin for the character, had a skin for your fucking your carts, your horse, everything.
Look, Valorant's $100.
$100, yeah.
I would never do that.
So there was a survey for Blizzard for Overwatch 2 of trying to get an estimate on what people would pay for their skins, and they asked people, how likely would you be to purchase a mythic skin? And my I guess thinking a mythic skin is going to be like that top tier, like those ultimates in League of Legends. Yeah. How likely would you be able to purchase a mythic skin at the price of $44.99?
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Get the fuck out of here.
No lie, they asked that straight up to their Overwatch
community.
Of course,
man. It's because they're trying to milk the Overwatch community for every single fucking penny that they can.
At the audacity of them asking that at that.
I'm still shocked that they made they made it fully fucking free to play, and you don't have to.
Yeah, and they're like, please, guys, we made this game free to play. You gotta buy your skins, man.
That's not absolutely. That is not the way that it went. They went down the route of go make it free to play. We can charge a shit ton of money for skins.
Probably, yeah.
That was more than likely. There was no like at all oh my god, how are we gonna make money? They're going absolutely not. We can fucking charge the shit out of all these skins. Oh, Valorant's over here making $100 a pop on a fucking gun skin. We can easily charge 50 and get.
I don't. Honestly, why they even decided to come out with this survey then, because if they give the people the opportunity to see what they're actually going to be pricing this stuff before launch, then there's no way that they're going to be pricing it at,
yeah, it'll be fucking double.
Very unlikely to very likely, and I can guarantee you everybody said very unlikely. I mean, what person in the right mind would be like, oh yeah, I'd pay $45 for just a skin? Like, yeah,
the people that are starved for fucking Overwatch content.
Absolutely. How is there? Hold on, you have the link on here? Let me see.
I fucking guarantee you, if they brought out like a Mercy skin that was like even remotely provocative, 100% people would be like, take my money, shut the fuck up, take my money.
Out with like a Mercy OnlyFans or something. I don't know.
Did they show? Okay, so
out there.
The bundle content was $4 for $5 for 3 sprays. An emote, highlight intro, and souvenir for $20, or a legendary skin, weapon charm, player icon, victory pose, voice line, name card spray for $30.
I'll say that option right there is probably the okayest. Like I feel like you at least get some bang for your buck at that.
For what? What was it?
It's $30 for a legendary skin and like a full set of like victory pose, player icon. But I mean, that's still a lot.
Fucking Reptar out of your mind, bro. If you think that $30 for a legend,
but for like the pack, but no, I would never pay it. I would never pay it.
Here's my problem.
Bullshit. If they brought a Hanzo skin out, you'd fucking be buying that shit.
I'm biased with Hanzo, and
here's my problem with this is that it's not like in first person shooters, and this is why I lean even more up saying it's more okay in Valorant, because at least Valorant shows you the fucking gun. Like, you are paying for a gun skin. You don't see your character ever. In this game, you don't really ever, in Overwatch, you don't really ever see your character for the most part. Like, a Genji, may, like, whenever they ult, maybe, and a couple of times you might. But, like, this is what I have.
Skins for, I mean, they change, obviously, your weapon, but I don't mind them for, like, the play of the games and, like, the victory poses or whatever at the end, but that's about it. I mean, that's all you really get out of your character skins in those type of games.
So it's not like they're saying my gun's gonna change because the gun is the character. Like,
Yeah.
I don't like.
If they want to make their skin game, like make legendary skins and mythic skins good in this game, they have to actually start like making unique abilities and like custom abilities and stuff for the skins, because they don't do that too much. The only one I've ever really seen was Hanzo's, and that was changing his dragons to wolves. Like that was about it. It wasn't big.
There are very few things that when I give to monetization, or that I give props to companies when it comes to monetization, but the way that Riot does their stuff with League of Legends, I think it's phenomenal.
I think so too.
Like,
they definitely they've really cornered the market on microtransactions, and they do it extremely well. We've always said that Riot, whatever they're doing, whatever their product research or their whatever you want to call it was, they did an extremely good job with it.
And I will say I give, and I still will to this day give Valorant flack for how much their fucking shit costs. At least it does look quality. Like it does look good. I've seen some really nice skins in that game. I will say that. But
yeah, $100. Oh,
I don't think they're $100.
It's not $100 worth. No,
pay $100. Maybe like again, like we said, 15 to 20. That's like where I'm.
The $100 ones is one of those ones where they're like, "Can we do this?" And people actually did it, and they're like, "Can we do this again?" Like,
wasn't the first $100? Didn't they turn like all your guns into like dragons and shit?
No, it was one gun.
Oh, okay.
It just turns one gun.
Yeah, it was like one gun, but it does change like that. I don't know. Yeah, it's still not worth $100.
Or like maybe it was two guns. I don't know. It changes. It's a pack. It's usually like the way it does. It's like one. It's like two packs or two guns or something like that. But it does not change all of them. No.
Gotcha.
I don't know. I mean, yes. Look, they're gonna have to monetize Overwatch. Like they have to. Overwatch 2 has to get monetized in some way, shape, or form. It's not just gonna survive off Battle Pass. It won't work.
No.
Yeah.
So obviously they're gonna bring out skins. $45. This pricing structure, even to me, is kind of appalling. I'm like, bro, $30 for a fucking skin is crazy. Right. Like that's insane. No, it's not worth it. I don't give a fuck what else you give me.
Again, like you said, you brought up a very good point. Like in Overwatch, you don't ever see your skin unless it's at the end with the the after action report, or unless you get a what's called, like you have a character that has an action that pushes it into third person.
That's why I have hovered so many times on Rainbow Six, in which I'm a proponent where I will spend money if I like the game, I'm having fun with the game. I don't mind. Again, disposable income. Yell at me. I don't give a shit. But I will throw money at a game and say, cool, like, yes, I'm liking it. I'm having a good time with it. Here's some money. I've hovered so many times on Rainbow Six on buying a character, and I'm just like, or buying a character skin, and I'm like, why? I never see him. Like, yeah. The only time I ever see my character skin is if I'm dead. Like, so, well, that's not, no, I don't want to see that. Like, I'm good. What, everybody else gets to see my character? I don't give a fuck. So, yeah. And I think Rainbow Six's gun skins are garbage, to be 100%. They're just now starting to get better, I think.
Starting to get better. Yeah. So they've always been quite garbage.
So yes, so that is a $45 or whatever else for a legendary skin of something I'm not going to see. No, I'm good. I'm Gucci Mane. All right. Well, we are wrapping up, guys, to the point where you guys can ask questions. So make sure you get them ready if you do have them.
Questions. What a shocker.
We do what?
So we actually have time for questions.
Yeah, I know, right? We gotta. Yeah, man. So quick hit news that we always talk about. Riot. We talked a little bit about Riot today. They are releasing a documentary in which I'm very excited to watch on Arcane, and they have committed to 7 other titles that they are making from the studios that brought Arcane.
That's dope, dude. I'm really hoping that we get. Yeah, I'm really hoping that we get like full fucking like because the current one is set in what's fucking I always forget is it
Runeterra? Not Runeterra.
Runeterra is the entire world. What's Village Water? Yeah,
Village Water.
I'm really hoping that we get like in each area. Like I'd like an entire animation about like Senna and Hecarim and the fucking the Ghostlands and Demacia and shit. Ooh, that'd be amazing. That'd be awesome, dude.
but yeah, so they committed to 7 other titles. We don't know if those are going to be shows
So-
like this or they're going to be movies. I'd love for them to make a movie. I would love for them for one of them to be a
Movie
movie.
would be cool.
That would be a cinematic masterpiece, bro.
So,
Arcane
yep. So 7 of those, and then again a documentary on the making of Arcane. So that's really cool. We already talked about Multiverses there. Last Oasis. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this. What's up?
Lost Oasis, yeah.
I think it's last. I don't think it's. I think I typed it wrong. I think it is Last
Yeah.
Oasis. Yeah. So Last Oasis actually is free to play right now until I think August 13th or August 8th. Maybe I think it's August 8th. It's free weekend. Yes, August 8th.
3 days.
It is free to play right now, but the developer openly came out and said our game sucks really bad, so we redid it and we revamped it and we changed it, and so now it's not a PvP game, it's a PvE game, and they changed a whole bunch of shit. So basically, they came back and said we fucked up, and we're gonna try to do better.
Well,
So-
last Oasis has had a like really rough, really rocky release, man. Like I remember when they first released, their fucking servers crashed and they were just hit so hard that their fucking servers crashed for like 2 weeks. Like nobody could play the fucking game for like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And then moving into it, they had a lot of issues with like lag and all that shit with PvP. It was just it was a mess,
It was
man. Like,
unplayable.
it's mixed right now. Recent reviews is mixed, and I think it was a like not great reviews even prior to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I have dabbled in wanting to try it because it looks cool in a concept, but then I was
free
just
for the next 3 days.
yeah. I mean,
Off though now that there is no PvP at all.
I think there's still
I don't think
PvP.
yeah, I
If
don't think
remember- if I looked at it correctly, the PvE is a seasons thing. It's not they're like they didn't change the entire fucking game. It's just they've made the season or this season at least a PvP or a PvE only season.
It makes more sense if they base the seasons off of like PvP or PvE challenges and still have PvP in the game.
so basically, what is saying is that it's introducing a variety of anticipated features like PvE maps for the first time players, better options for solo play, gigantic bosses, creature bosses, improved AI, schematics, and a whole and like basically
Private servers too. Like this last update introduced private servers, which is kind of cool.
Like
Um,
Steam based.
No, I think it's like hosted based, like
Because of
survival
that.
servers type shit.
yeah, they added they completely overhauled the travel system. They've changed and added new siege weapons. They've added PvE maps. They've added automatons and remote weapons, so one person so they can solo play. Yeah, they features an overhauled core gameplay loop that will allow more significant, more interesting gameplay for solo players in small groups. I don't know. Maybe we give this a shot. You know, it's free this weekend. I think we give it a shot. Give it a try. So
I think I owned it actually
you bought it?
from No, I think I got it from Humble Bundle.
Oh,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So
I don't know. I'm gonna give it a shot. We're gonna give it a try and see how it is. Anytime a game like this gets a big overhaul.
like Conan Exiles, it gives me that vibe, but like more. Of
Kinda.
course, it has the robot automatons or whatever you call them.
Yeah, it's
So-
I don't know. Like I said, I've always been interested. I've just never jumped into it. So we'll try this weekend, chat. Maybe we hop in with Scruffy and play a little bit of that. So, all right. A
Yep.
couple questions that we do have is, do we remember something about Last of Us? I'm like, oh, here it is. Have you heard that any news on Last of Us remake or PC version? Last of Us. The
Yeah,
Last of Us is
PC
definitely getting remade.
PC version, I don't think we have any news of when that's going to arrive. PlayStation, I was just reading the PlayStation version. I think is releasing. It's either later this year, like an end of year this year, or early next year, if I remember correctly.
I have a date for it. I know it's getting released, and who the fuck cares?
Oh, nice. That's
Yeah.
good. That's
Yeah.
great.
Nobody.
Last of Us 1 is a good fucking game. The Last of Us 2, not
It's
so
been
much. Last of Us
remade
1.
9 times. How
much.
many times can you remake a game that came out 4 years ago, 5 years ago? Holy fuck, man!
I mean, if you take the Skyrim play of things,
Fucking
a lot
Christ, dude.
more than one.
No. Skyrim didn't get remade. Like they didn't.
No, they just
like,
got re-released.
Yeah,
every
that's
fucking
that's
possible-
different. That's different. No, that's different. This is a game where they're like, oh hey, they launched it and they relaunched it and now they're relaunching it and then they're gonna relaunch it again because why the fuck
That
not?
is- Skyrim does. Like,
Jesus
Yeah.
fuck, man. God,
That's
yeah.
exactly what Skyrim does.
It's not
Yeah.
that good. And I don't even think it has the multiplayer, which was actually an interesting part of the game that I don't even think is going to be in the thing.
yeah, I liked the multiplayer of Last of Us. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like it was kind of unique, but
Another
for
question.
me,
What's up? Yeah, there's a question that is specifically for
Yeah.
Scruffy. When are you
There
changing
is.
your hair back?
and that's something like chicken. I don't necessarily know if you know how like hair works, but you can't really I can't just like change it back to long. Like it has to kind of grow.
Can
like
you-
it just kind of.
Can you do us a
Grows.
favor for everybody that's listening? This is why you should join in the video podcast. Can you do me a favor? Can you do a little 360 for me? Let's show off the whole. Let's show the whole do.
Okay,
let us-
sure. Yeah. Here we
yeah.
go.
Is this
While
what
his
we're moving
while his
to
head
for
while his
entertainment?
headphones are off, does he not look like the dude from Dumb and Dumber where they put the bowl on his head and fucking cut it?
Get that? Was that good?
Yeah, that was great. It was good job. Good job.
Great.
Good
Yeah.
It's
Thanks.
perfect.
Awesome.
Man. We're gonna find out if Scruffy listens to the podcast or not.
Now that you said that, now we know.
Wait, so is there anything that I should
Oh
warn?
my god, no, you're good.
Girl does say hi to everybody, and she is wishing Billy he feels better. So
Aw, nice.
Bye.
Wait, is Mama Scruffy in here right now and just heard me bash her son's haircut?
no, wow,
Okay, good.
ash you.
All right,
right.
guys. Well, that's it.
Moving on.
That's it. We're done. We wrapped it up, boys and girls. That's it for the show. Episode 63 is wrap it up, put a bow on it in the books. We'll be shipping it out to you guys throughout all the podcast apps later on this week. We'll be uploading it to the different platforms, whether it be YouTube. We're on TikTok now too, right? Aren't we doing that thing?
I don't know.
I think soon.
We're doing the soon, yeah, right.
being the looks for
Yep.
the TikToks.
There you go. The TikTokable moments.
Yep.
TikTok around the clock. The YouTubes are getting updated. We've got some exciting news. We're not yet ready to announce. We're going to kind of keep that one secret. You guys got to keep coming back. You don't know. It may be maybe it's 64 that we talk about it. Maybe it's 66. Maybe it's Scruffy's favorite 69. Maybe that's going to be the one that we talk about.
That's where we're gonna end the season. The first season is 69.
Yeah.
Yep.
And never come back because you can't. Once you get to that
Never
number,
come
you just
back.
got to stop.
Yeah.
Right?
You gotta stop.
I'm actually I actually just hit 69 in league
Yeah.
last night, and I can't.
Oh,
Well, I guess
dude.
that blows my stuff out of the water because I was going to want to play with you tonight after we got offline.
Yep.
So,
Sorry, bud. We have to
anyway,
make an entirely new fucking account.
make sure, what I will tell you is we don't normally push kind of our socials, but I will say is make sure that you guys do start checking out our socials because news is going to start coming out there, and some of the changes that we're implementing leading into 2023, right? Because as we do this and we continue to produce content, we want to make the best content we possibly can for you guys, right? Part of that is being able to elevate not only the show, but what surrounds the show, the community that's surrounding the show. So again, without spoiling the news, we've got some really cool things that are coming down the line that we're all excited about. Myself, Scruffy, Enigma, and Bill are super pumped to kind of bring to you guys. I think it's going to be really awesome. It's going to be a way for you guys to engage with us on the show in a new way, and be able to provide content to us on a new way. So, we're super excited about that. But like I said, that'll be a little bit later on, and we'll kind of discuss when we're ready to drop that. But yeah. Like I said,
We're doing
episode
this for
60,
3 years, guys.
3 years.
3 whole years, man.
But if you missed any part of the show or you weren't present during the live, first off, get your ass in here. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. 10:30 Eastern, right across all of the different platforms. You can fucking watch us wherever the fuck you want. Come in, join in, be a part of the gang, be a part of the crew, be a part of the chat, engage with us. But if you weren't able to do that, you can catch us on all of your podcast apps. Anchor.fm/prepatch podcast will get you to there. Of course, you can download us and listen to us on Spotify, on YouTube, everywhere else. In any case, guys, like I said, episode number 63 is in the books. We will catch you guys later. See ya.
Deuces.
Deuces. No,
That's my line.
Shut the fuck. It's my line.
Installation.